And whether you in the future meet someone else and decide to create another relationship, maybe even get married again, it's always good to be financially independent.
So it's just knowing your lifestyle costs separated out from the kids. And that way you're not relying on that child support because it is a finite income, because everything is so together. So it's things like, well, my car payment's more than his, but we always just split it. Well, now your car payment's just more. Well, now this is your liability because it's your car.
Divorce can be emotionally and financially overwhelming. That's why I'm teaming up with Sunny Wishart, president and founder of A la Carte Financial and a certified financial planner. We will show you how to understand all things money without feeling ashamed, overwhelmed, embarrassed. You will learn more, ask questions. No question is a dumb question. Welcome to Money with Sunny. Let's get into it.
Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Frodo. I see him in the back having a little nap. Today, we're here to talk to you about child support. Sunny and I had a little conversation prior to recording this call, and she has two things that she'd like to talk about that are important for you to understand, important for you to do when considering child support. Number one, do a cash flow statement. And number two, determine money needed to support your children. There's a difference between the money you need to support your children and the money that you need to support yourself. So, Sunny, when you meet with someone transitioning through separation and divorce, how does this conversation look?
Yeah, usually it's fairly early stages where the next 3 months are fairly unknown. So we need to paint that picture, which is do the cash flow analysis of what is next month and the following month going to look like. So we're going to talk about, okay, where are you going to live and what capacity are you going to work? Where are your kids going to go? What kind of childcare do you need? And things like that to determine, to move forward with analyzing and painting the picture of this is you fully out of the home or in the home or whatever, but separated, uncoupling the finances. These are your finances now.
Mm-hmm.
So we work to it's very murky at first.
And that's the cash flow statement that you're preparing.
Yeah.
Okay. What do people struggle with here?
Well, the top things I see people struggle with is uncoupling everything because everything is so together. So it's things like, well, my car payment's more than his, but we always just split it. Well, now your car payment's just more. And you have to look at this is your car and you just pay more. We have to have those conversations. Well, now this is your liability because it's your car, unless you want to get rid of the car. Or just that's one of the things that we have to deal with is, okay, how are we getting out of this? And then second, what does it look a little bit down the road? Do we need rent considerations? Is the home going on the market? Where are you going to land? And I often just try to paint the next year. Where are you going to land for the next 1 year? We get a little stuck in, I need to get in another house for the rest of my life. And it's like, how about we just pump the brakes on that? And let's just wait till everything else settles down and calms down. And where do you want to be just this next year?
Mm-hmm. And so rather than that big overwhelm of forever, you break it down with them. So a first step for someone who might want to work with you and prepare their cash flow analysis, what documentation should they start to gather? Would it be expenses that they have in their household, car payments, all expenses? Is that what they're looking for? What do you ask them to gather, or is that a conversation that you have with them first when you first meet them? How does it look? How does the process look working with you to create this cash flow analysis and help them to understand their finances, understand the uncoupling of finances from their spouse? Where do you start?
Mm-hmm. And this is a tough one because the standard way is just send me your statements and I can tell you where your money's going. But that money could still be commingled with the ex. So a lot of it isn't relevant. So we do start with, okay, we need to look at the money coming in versus the money going out with just you and your kids. Okay. And so I'm going to look at income. So whether it's a pay stub or if you're self-employed, and we're going to project out the income for the next few months.
Mhm.
Then we're going to butt it up against the projected expenses. So, okay, I definitely want to, some people want to just look at what's renting going to cost me, or what is this mortgage? Can I stay in this home and pay this mortgage on my own? Sure, let's look at it. Let's paint the picture. And if it's important to you and it's important to your kids to stay in the home, we can look at that and we can create it's like we do it on a monthly basis.
Mhm.
And we can create this cash flow analysis on a month by month basis and say, and I've done this for people before, and they've presented these to the courts because they're going to get you to do something like this, regardless of me doing it or not. They're going to get you to do something to show I'm short $600 a month. I need at least that to put a roof over me and my kids' head
Mhm.
for
It's part of the
payments.
financial disclosure in the process for sure. You'll need it for whether it's court or your lawyer or your mediator, and where I can see it really helping working with someone like you is some conversation around where to find the numbers, some conversation around different pictures that you can paint for your life, and some conversation around options. That's what I see. I see that that's very helpful because sometimes we get into a court or a mediation session or a lawyer's office, and the conversation feels scarier. It feels intimidating. And working with my clients, I see the advantages of finding someone like Sunny to be with you in your corner during this time, to answer these questions that you may feel uncomfortable asking in a in front of a lawyer or in front of a judge or in front of a mediator. And you can kind of get this organized and prepared in your own mind prior to those other prior to those other meetings that you're going to have. Okay, that's great. Now, number two is what's the difference between money you spend on your kids and money you spend on yourself?
Yeah, and this one is so hard to determine because sometimes what you spend on yourself is for your kids, like putting them in childcare so you can work,
Mm-hmm.
or just paying your utility bills or just higher because the kids are running the water and the power, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to really determine that, but it's being just kind of clear that this is your lifestyle and these are the kids' costs. So this is how you like to live your life, and this is what it costs.
Mm-hmm.
So, or like I'm keeping this house, things are tight, but I'm only going to do it until XYZ date. Then I'm willing to move. We can move forward with that and just make sure we're clear on this is what you can afford on your income.
Mm-hmm.
And all this extra money coming in is to support your children in whatever regards that is, which we all know is everything, right? So it's just knowing your lifestyle costs separated out from the kids.
Mm.
And that way you're not relying on that child support because it is a finite income. It will end. And the tough part about when child support ends is often you're closer to retirement.
Mm.
That's you're all of a sudden you're in your 50s and child support's done, and it's like I got kind of used to that. Just making sure that you can continue to save for retirement or whatever, reach all your goals, and those keep humming as well.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is it's about creating financial independence and financial freedom for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's part of the uncoupling. And whether in the future meet someone else and decide to create another relationship, maybe even get married again, it's always good to be financially independent and bring that into your next relationship or bring that into the rest of your life. So if it's something that you haven't been doing up until now, hey, do it. This is going to be a great learning and growing opportunity for you. And it's going to feel good because it's really important. And there's no time like the present. I was working with a client last week and she's recently separated. So nothing is organized yet. The parenting plan isn't in place. There is no separation agreement. And together, we I helped her to create a letter for some interim financial support. So it was just a little letter outlining insurance, money needed to support her month to month, and a temporary letter that will take them through the separation period. And it was written kindly, with love, very child centered focus. And this is a great opportunity for you to put pen to paper and kind of decide how you want to move through the separation and divorce process. So it was interesting for her. It worked, meaning that her husband, soon to be ex husband, uh, agreed with what she was saying, agreed that nobody should be, you know, stressing out, worried about money at this time. And and let's make it work. We're going to move forward. So that's another something for you to consider. Is there anything that we missed, Sunny?
No, I like your good news story. That was wonderful. Sounds so peaceful
Mm.
and therapeutic.
Well, that's how I work with my clients, just to create a divorce that is from love. And it's a new relationship you're building with your partner. It's a relationship that you will have for a long time. You will always have a relationship with your kids, hopefully. If you want one, you will. Yeah. So it's how you choose to be during this time that's really important. Well, you know what? It's always great chatting with you, Sunny. Thanks for being here. Your insight and wisdom when it comes to all the real important money stuff is invaluable for anybody watching and listening. Hope you all got something from this today, and we look forward to seeing you next time.